What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at DataDash, and today is September 15th of 2021. Well, folks, I hope you are having a fantastic day wherever you are. And in today's video, I want to dive into the topic of platform plays within the cryptocurrency market. When I say platform plays, I'm generally referring to the wide basket of layer 1 protocols and layer 2 protocols that could potentially be competitors to layer 1 protocols like Ethereum or service as some of the dominant ecosystem plays on top of the layer 1s. However, I want to make it very clear here today, guys, that I'm not so much focusing on fundamentals and rather focusing on the momentum and the liquidity shift into these plays that is clearly going throughout the market right now. It is one of the most obvious trends at play right now, and I'm solely focused here today on finding good technical price action plays that might open up potential trade opportunities, whether it be in the short term or over the preceding few months. But I want to make it very clear, guys, that again, overall for these plays, I'm not saying that they're fundamentally the best plays in the market. I'm not saying that I'm all in on these different plays. I want to go ahead and provide a bit of context as we go through the conversation and just provide my rationale as to why I think these look good. All right, so as you guys might be able to tell from here, taking a look at the first chart, we're taking a look at an old play, a 2017 play we were very early covering here on the channel and currently don't hold any position in, but this is a play called Icon. Now, Icon is basically one of the major layer 1 protocols back in 2017 and has continued to be one of the upcoming plays, or at least one that looks like it might be ready to finally take the center stage with its pivot into DeFi and a few other different subsects of the dApp environment that's come out of Ethereum. And we can see here that Icon has really been going through what's generally known as a base in this case, or an accumulation period, as far back here as June 2019. So we're talking about an accumulation period that has been over 2 years here against Bitcoin. And as we zoom in here, we can see that, there have been some periods of time, and I'll go ahead and adjust my line here a little bit. As you can see, we generally had this base around 1,500 sats multiple times, or roughly around that range. And we also get topping out price action anywhere generally from 5,400 to 6,000 Satoshis, right? It's not always consistent in this case. But what we generally like to see is when we take a look at this long-term time frame, we had exponential price action, we had a base, and in this case, we set the stage that for when we do break out, when we have a clear weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly breakout or close above this line of resistance, right? You can see each time it faded here, right? Sellers came in the market and dominated against the bulls, pushing prices down. When we get up here with enough buy-side volume, enough accumulation of long-term holders, that's when price can really start to accelerate. So that's something, again, that I would say to keep an eye on here. Icon has definitely been trying to pivot and focus on different areas within the crypto space. So that's just one play that I'm keeping an eye on at the moment. Again, I don't hold any positions in Icon. It's a potential position I'm thinking about building. Because again, I don't think it's going to go all the way up here, to be completely frank with you guys. But I do think in this case, there's some room for this to possibly move above this band and get somewhere here, probably at a much higher price range against Bitcoin. All right, another one that really came out of the bear market back in 2018 and has finally started to garner a bit of attention, HBAR or Hedera Hashgraph. Now, what was really cool is for Hashgraph, I actually was able to go to the Hedera Hashgraph reveal back in I think it was back in May of 2018. Well, anyways, it took a little while for the token to actually deploy in the market and everything to go through, but luckily it's out there now and it's been trending quite well here against Bitcoin. One thing we are watching for is for a potential breakout above 800 sats, which was resistance back here, resistance over here. And luckily we've gotten that clear through. Now the volume isn't too dramatic. It's not too crazy. But I do want to say that the price action, the breakout looks really good. And I think something to just use as like a general kind of way to measure what kind of price potential we have here, I think is generally going against this line of resistance that takes the previous relative high here in September 2019, the next I think relative or all-time high against Bitcoin back in March of 2020, and possibly sets the stage for this to still have another 30% move or so. Again, this isn't one of my favorite plays here in the sense of the technicals, but at least it has the momentum here. And on the weekly chart, we can see that this is definitely outperforming Bitcoin. So if you can capture that momentum, it's not always about picking up things at the absolute bottom, but if you're in these kind of short-term trades, then in this case, it can make sense, right? Again, not really arguing on a fundamentals basis. I'll be completely frank, I don't know exactly where Hedera is nowadays and stuff. I used to keep up more actively with the project back in the day. right? And again, the thing I want to emphasize, guys, is even though we've got this kind of liquidity flowing in the layer ones, I really don't think many of them are going to be substantiated or really hold out. So again, it's understanding here in this case to be able to ride the wave, know what points there might be resistance, and learn how to take profits. But that's something I want to leave up to you guys in this case, right? Just don't fall in love with the projects. These are more trade setups. Now, another one I want to talk about here is Cosmos or Atom. Now, this was actually, as you guys can see with the kind of detail we have on the chart here, this is actually one of our picks from the Dash report this previous month. So about 2 weeks ago, we dropped our latest version of the Dash report, and there's been some members in this case who have made some good returns in this because we were calling for it back here at the beginning of the month when it was below this actual ascending triangle where we had the higher lows, consistent resistance range, and has made a nice solid return here. We can generally estimate from we talked about it somewhere around a 35, 40, 45% return if you would have entered in back when we talked about it. So if you guys are interested in that, you guys can always check out the Dash report down below in the description. But in regards to the actual setup here, the setup is really nice. You know, you generally got these higher lows here, this consistent resistance range. We've now breaking up above. There's the highest price point here back in early September, the second week of September, that we've seen since as far back as June of 2019. And along with that as well, you can also take a look at the Atom ETH ratio, which gives us a good target range that probably estimates that we've got a couple more double-digit percentage moves and stuff for Atom to make before we see some kind of correction. But overall, again, I think long-term, Atom is going to be a really solid play here. And I think actually it's one of the few plays on a fundamental basis, right, that could actually come up here, get back to the previous all-time highs, cup down, and take off. Right, Atom is one of the few that, as I wrote about here, has one of like the best SDK tools for developers. Uses Tendermint consensus, and one of the places we'll actually talk about today utilizes Cosmos in some capacity. So again, this is just personally me. I don't hold any Atom at the moment. It's been one of the few that I'm really on edge about adding a position to or reallocating some of my portfolio to. But again, I don't own any Atom at this case at the moment. So just again, talking about different setups that I'm watching for here in the market. Last but not least here, and talking about a play that was actually built with the Cosmos SDK, is Unibright. Now, we're talking specifically about one of the new projects that Unibright is working on, which is Base Ledger. Right? This is the implementation of the baseline standard, baseline protocol, to allow companies in this case to be able to interact with one another in almost a layer 2 scalable environment that caters to the needs of companies in this case who are working in enterprise blockchain. So you guys know, as always, I like to be transparent and tell you guys I am an advisor to Unibright. It's been one of my longest standing positions. Actually, it was the first advisor role I ever took on. And the team is doing phenomenal work. But I have to say, in regards to the price action in the market, overall, things are looking really clean here. You went from generally this kind of descending trend back here in May of 2020, down here to December of 2020, where we set a nice baseline range of support here. And now we're starting to see an upward trend of higher lows and higher highs, this ascending channel versus a descending channel. And now we broke through it and have very well clearly at least it looks like we're setting the stage here in this case for UBT to make support on there and keep climbing higher, right? So again, this is what we want to consider here. We want to see these technical patterns here, as well as projects that have the momentum and the exciting announcements coming forward to actually carry things forward in the sense of building positions. But the major thing here, again, like as we've talked about these kind of 4 example plays, guys, I want to like really open up like the tools for you guys to run with it and really see why I think platform plays are a big focus right now. I don't know how long this is going to be a trend. I really think it's going to be a short-term one over the next few weeks, but we can see the liquidities flowing right now. And the thing we need to understand here, is that if you just simply take a look, there's certain tags you can get on CoinMarketCap. But if you actually, you guys can see here, actually, it might not show you the URL. So what I'll do, show you guys how you can get it. If you go to CoinMarketCap, one of the examples I used to get it is if you go to Algorand or another play like this, you can see in the platform play section, boom, you've got a lot of different layer 1 protocols. You get your big ones like Cardano and Solana that are competing potentially with Ethereum. But you've also got some of the plays we talked about today, like Cosmos or other popular layer 2s like Polygon. The point in case that I want to make here today is that there are a ton of plays out there in the market. And the general sweet spot that I'm looking for in this case as an investor is the place that I've always found my best investment opportunities, personally speaking. And that's in the kind of mid-cap range. So in crypto terms, again, everyone will give you different definitions of what a mid-cap is. But for me personally, I like anything in this case that's in that kind of $2 to $10 billion range. Sometimes I'll make exceptions in this case if we can get the small caps in the $500 million, $1 billion range, right? But I want to see that there's some solidified traction and that they're actually doing things that get investors excited and are actually potentially building revenue generating products or things that will set demand for the protocol. Because the thing we have to think about here is just how bullish in this case Ethereum is for 2021 and 2022 and beyond with the EIP 1559 upgrade. You have ETH2 coming in the future with staking rewards. There's a lot going for Ethereum in the sense of its monetary schedule or monetary policy that is going to make it difficult for these plays to keep up at the same pace. That being said, some of them simply have better markets to scale. They're much smaller projects. And as we're seeing the kind of liquidity we're seeing now flowing into the space, this is definitely an opportunity to watch for. I'm not saying you guys should go all in on any of these plays. I'm not even saying you should go all in and start speculating on the markets. You guys know that I genuinely advocate in this case, even though it's not financial advice, that people generally invest long-term in plays that they really like, that are holding good price action, good fundamental developments. And I think this is just, again, one of many other trends to just keep an eye on in this case. Maybe consider having some allocation to, as I am personally at the moment. But it's my general take, guys. It's a quick summary video. I just wanted to kind of open this up again. You guys can dive through. There's so many other platform plays out there. But again, the sweet spot that I'm looking for is anywhere from that 500 to, again, $2 billion range. That's usually the nice sweet spot you can land. If it's a little bit outside of that, you can give yourself some wiggle room. If you find something that has a good chart, has good liquidity, you have an exchange where you can buy it in this case and invest in it. But again, just bear in mind again, guys, that at the end of the day, you have to have that profit-taking strategy, in my opinion, when it comes to any kind of trading opportunities. When you're investing in something, it's good to still have a profit or exit strategy. But again, we've already talked about building that crypto exit strategy for the vast majority of your portfolio. And that's more of looking for the signs, the telltale signs that the market is setting a cycle top. If you guys want to check that, you can find that on the Data Dash channel if you just scroll through some of the videos on the channel. But anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you liked it, consider dropping a like. Consider leaving a comment if you guys feel I missed a project that you guys really like. Please, though, if you do, mention 2 to 3 reasons why you like the project on a fundamental basis, on a technical basis. And outside of that, just to confirm that you guys watch towards the end of the video and remember the rules in this case to talk about why you like the project, drop a thumbs up emoji with the comment. So anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.